This is former WWE superstar Al Snow and Magicians to the Blind. You're listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
Welcome back to Duke Loves Rasslin, the show about pro wrestling and everything else.
It's a show about nothing. Just say it.
This is not Seinfeld.
And not in a good Seinfeld.
Jerry
way.
Seinfeld, do not sue me. Larry David, do not sue me.
Oh, it'd be hysterical.
I love Larry David.
Oh, he's a genius.
Isn't he hilarious?
A friend of mine just went to a wedding out in California, and it was at the same place where the end of the wedding at the last season when he goes and he ruins the wedding for the daughter. For what's his name? Jeff's daughter.
Yeah.
The same place. He's like, he sent me the picture. I'm like, that looks really familiar. And he's like, yeah, it was on Curb.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that cool?
Listen, Curb Your Enthusiasm, great show. Larry David, if you ever want the Duke to guest star, if you need another writer, I'm your man. Just reach out.
What is wrong with you?
Reach out.
Yeah, Larry David needs your help writing. What's wrong with you?
Larry David's a good friend of mine. Just like Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah, you don't have any friends.
He's a good friend of mine.
Larry David's a friend of yours.
Whatever. Well, on this week's episode, listen, Boston Bad Boy.
What?
One of our loyal listeners is going to give us a report. She went down to Mexico.
Oh, boy.
To watch CMLL. Super Jennie. She's going to tell us how it went.
Really?
Yeah, Lucha Libre Wrestling, man.
Why would she do that?
We got to expand our horizons here. We got to bring some extra stuff.
Listen, my horizons are beautiful. You, scary.
Get out of here.
Scary.
We also got Reed coming up.
Oh, well, finally, someone with some common sense. He always brings a fresh air perspective here.
Yeah, he's going to break down that foolish Manny Pacquiao and Adrien Broner fight. I'm so pissed about that.
Has he talked about, like, me moving over to his program or anything ever? Like, because I know he does his own thing, so maybe...
You have a contract.
I don't.
You have a contract.
No, I want you to tear up the contract and get out of my life.
It's an ironclad contract, too, so get rid of that.
Yeah.
Get it out of your head. Mm-hmm. Before we get to any of our guests, though, Boston Bad Boy.
Yes.
Look, I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
We could either talk about the crazy weather that we've had in Boston in the past week.
All right.
Or we could talk about the alleged president of the United States, Donald Trump. Take your pick.
Well, they're both a shitstorm. Let me tell you.
Well,
let me tell you. Listen, you're way more politically savvy than I am. I just like to watch it. I'm learning.
Sure.
And I'm not a guy that's in high finance. I'm not in high government. I'm not in high business. But watching this, there are some things that are becoming very obvious to me. Like I say, I'm just the average guy. I know I'd be in deep shit if I was him. Does he know it? Do you know what I mean? Like, so we've shut down the government for
34 days.
Whatever. Yeah, 30, so over a month now. Yep. You got Wilbur Ross out there telling people to take out a bank loan for bread and milk.
Going more debt.
I don't
know what your problem is.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your problem?
Going more debt.
It's you.
Yeah.
You're the problem.
Yeah.
And there's Trump, who the Speaker of the House, a woman no less, told him to shove his State of the Union address. And he backed down.
He had to.
Well, here's the thing. It's not going well.
He's not winning.
He's not winning. And the government shut down. He's dug in. But he can't win. He can never dig himself out of it. It's the Hail Mary pass. You said it earlier. It's the Hail Mary pass.
Yeah.
And what happens when it doesn't connect?
It's going to sail right out of bounds.
All right, you're a football fan.
Yep.
How often does the Hail Mary actually work? Not very often.
Not very often.
When it does, it's spectacular.
Sure.
But it is what it is. It is the last-ditch effort.
More often than not, it's going to fail.
And there's too many moving pieces for a Hail Mary to work in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You've already pissed off too many people. And the people who are on your side that own you, they're now getting pissed off. Because if you mess up their scheme, they'll kill you just as soon as anybody else would. Bad news.
It's bad. It's
so
really
where do we
bad.
go from here? As a country, where do we go from here? We got Mueller doing his thing.
Yep.
Let's say we trust that. That the longer it goes, to me, it seems the worse it is for Trump. Right? I mean, you clear someone pretty quickly.
He doesn't know how to get out of it.
Well, what does out mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is out at this point? What is out for him? He's a president of the United States, just like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy. The name is mentioned whether you like it or not in that thing. Unless we find that it truly was a stolen election, then we strike it all, which would be the ultimate thing. Forget about World War III. We're living through whatever World War III is.
Literally, yeah.
But where do you go? How long does Putin have our government shut down? How long do they let it? How long do the people who know, and we know there's people who know.
Sure.
Somebody out there knows the real deal. Somebody out there sees the big picture and has the facts. How long do they let it go?
Well, keep in mind, the longer you keep the government shut down, the more you obstruct the investigation.
Of course, you're literally pulling the plug on their funds.
Sure. So you're buying them time to figure out how to counteract this investigation that's going to put Trump and everybody in jail. Right?
All right. So you're saying that the shutdown is actually helping the investigation?
No, it's helping Trump. It's buying him time.
Right. Okay.
Let's slow this down, and let's huddle over here and figure out what we're going to do to stop this thing.
But there's nothing to stop it.
Well, you could fire Mueller.
Wouldn't that be easier than shutting the government down?
Well, no, because it's going to create another.
This is just
another what storm,
right?
You know what I mean. So there's going to be backlash from that.
But he didn't I don't think he realized that he couldn't bully Nancy Pelosi. He thought he could bully them.
Sure.
He brought candy.
Yeah.
He brought candy.
Yeah, he brought candy
to the meeting.
Yeah.
And then he walked out.
It's not chocolate cake, but it's candy.
Somebody had the perfect summation of Trump. It was somebody on the news. I read it, and it was the shart of the deal.
Yeah, I know. Not the art of the deal. The
no,
shart
because
of the deal.
there's no way out of this.
Mm.
If you're there, if you suddenly need to get away, like you're there.
Mm.
I think I resign. I cut my losses at this point. Cut my losses.
But nothing is going to stop at least the state charges from coming at you.
Right. But I resign and try and run my own smokescreen on that stuff
you can't
out of the public eye.
You need the power of the presidency
to leverage against it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But how long does that power last when no one wants to do their job to back you up after? You know what I mean? Eventually, let's say Mitch McConnell, his people revolt against him. And he doesn't have the ability to say no to taking up a vote.
Side note, doesn't Mitch's wife work in the administration? She does.
She does. She's the transportation secretary?
Yeah, so he's he's personally not going to part from Trump.
That's what I'm saying.
As long as she has a job, he's in it.
And for him, isn't it plausible deniability that I did whatever I could, but my people revolted against me? And he can can make himself sleep at night thinking about that. Who's going to emerge in that party as the person who leads the revolt against the dysfunctional management? Because they're going to lose the entire party.
Yeah.
They don't even see that yet.
I think they see it.
You still have the Mitt Romneys of the world.
Do.
You see the Mitt Romneys of the world who think they can pull it back from the brink.
Sure.
And they can't.
Sure.
They can't. And he voted with the Democrats today on the Senate bill that died. But it's unbelievable.
This is a pro wrestling storyline. Once again, Trump is a WWE Hall of Famer. He's doing some pro wrestling. I'm shutting down Monday Night Raw.
That's a good move,
right? I'm shutting it down. No, it's not a good move. Stop that. What are you talking about?
I'm permanent, like no kayfabe. Just actually shutting it down.
No,
it's boring.
Raw is going to be forever. Stop that.
You know, it'd be great actually.
What?
If Vince McMahon was smart, he would mirror what was happening in real life, and he would pull I'm shutting down Monday Night Raw until like make it a storyline. Mirror it.
My only concern with that is some nut job would actually. They would jump over the barriers and try to get at Vince. I would be very concerned about that. Wrestling fans are crazy.
So you think that Vince is more a fear of an assassination than the President of the United States?
At least somebody would attempt to beat him up. I think we don't want to play with we don't want to play with their emotions. I don't know. Wrestling fans are
obviously
crazy.
He wouldn't have to actually do it, but he could sabatage it while it's happening, or we're pulling funding, we're not paying for this, and then someone comes in and they pay for it.
There is a reason why McMahon is not doing the Trump gimmick.
Because
he's not allowing anybody to do the Trump gimmick. Nobody.
Because they're buddies. And McMahon's going to be in some financial trouble when the SEC comes after him for the money that's been laundered through their foundation and with their money for Trump.
Listen, Vince
again,
McMahon.
Those state charges in New York. Where is the WWE based? Is it Connecticut?
Connecticut, yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to matter, though. It's not going to matter if Vince's money's sitting in a New York bank that's been the laundering money for Donald Trump.
Vince, you're a good friend of mine, but you cannot hide at my place.
I love that you keep telling the FBI is going to be knocking at your door.
Well, I'm just saying.
Speaking
of
which, you got to check out the Fire Festival documentary on Netflix. Unbelievable.
No spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it with you, but the Schadenfreude, how do you say that? The Schadenfreude, the hubris of these wealthy, well, I'll say it, wealthy white people to prey on each other. It's like Lord of the Flies, and it was beautiful. It was epic to watch because everybody just went along with it.
And now, is this guy in jail?
He's in jail now. He got 6 years.
Thank God.
6 years, and he owes people millions.
Yeah,
millions and
he destroyed a whole island, right?
Well, yeah. He owed this woman sunk $50,000 of her. This woman who works she's like a restaurant caterer. Boy, she must have worked her ass off to get $50,000 working down there. She lost that. I guess a GoFundMe was set up for her. And money. But all the workers who built all this stuff, the locals.
Terrible.
I mean, talk about, and you know what it is, though? And you'll agree with me. After you watch it, we'll talk about it again. It is a microcosm of the Trump effect. This guy just blustered his way through it. Made everyone feel like $1 million. I get all the answers. Don't worry. In the end.
Yeah, you don't need to see all the specifics here. Just know what's going to happen.
And by the way, let me just one quick aside. Ja Rule, you are not the godfather of hip-hop. He refers to himself, I believe, as such in the thing. And it's like, listen, take it easy, Dr. Dre.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, this is...
Yeah.
You're a little far away from that.
I don't even think he's not Eminem. He's not Jay-Z. He's not anybody. He's not LL Cool J. Like,
you're not even LL Cool J.
Yeah,
and that guy was in that Shark movie.
Yeah, well... All right, enough of Trump, enough of Ja Rule. Let's talk about some of the top stories. Listen,
do we have to?
Royal Rumble's coming up. I'm just going to give my top picks for Royal Rumble. Number 1.
All right, Queen Elizabeth II.
Carmella's going to win.
All right.
I like Carmella. It's my homegirl. Her father's a good friend of mine. She's going to win.
Really?
That's the women's Royal Rumble.
All right.
The men's Royal Rumble, Samoa Joe.
Really? Haven't heard a lot from him. I mean, you haven't talked about him a lot.
He's coming back strong, man.
Really?
Let Joe win, and let Joe move on to win the Universal Championship, because Joe is the man. So
Joe knows.
Those are my 2 picks there. I say Daniel Bryan retains his title against AJ Styles. You know, AJ Styles is upset about that Gillette commercial.
Really?
AJ Styles.
Is this? I mean,
no, this is legit.
Shtick?
He did it. He did an interview, and he said that he was offended by it.
Well, he's an asshole then. He's the sensitive skin that they're talking about.
Well, folks, what do you think? What do you think about AJ Styles being offended by the Gillette commercial, which basically tells you not to be a jerk? Right?
Well,
that's what
it tells me that if you're offended by that, you're a fucking jerk. That's what it tells me. You know what, AJ Styles? You're a fucking jerk. I'll say it right there. And I got no problem with you coming on the show and beating up the Duke if you have a problem.
Thanks for that. Jesus. All right, I say that Becky Lynch wins back the women's SmackDown Women's Championship. Let's go with Finn Balor upsets Brock Lesnar. Now, Finn Balor, he's like our height. Yep. He's going to beat Brock.
First of all, I am much taller than you.
No, you're not.
Okay, just let me.
He's not
our
much
height.
taller.
There's no our height. There's no our height. There's no our looks. There's no our taste.
We're both 5'6".
Being generous.
Yeah.
That's being generous for one of us.
And I'm going to say that, now Ronda Rousey, she has a match against Sasha Banks. I would love to see Sasha win, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Rousey retains.
Rousey's, I don't even get me started on her.
All right, be careful. Be
Don't
careful.
Started.
Shout out to Ronda Rousey. I know that there's some rumors that she's going to leave the WWE, start a family. We'll see what happens there. shout out to Rousey. I don't. Hey, look, why can't she start a family? It's her business. It's her business. Let her do what she wants to do. Huh? Okay.
It's so stupid.
Stay out of it.
It's stupid.
Stay out of it. Don't do this. Don't do this right now. Please.
I don't care that much.
Don't do this. All right, moving on. So we got this All Elite Wrestling, Cody Rhodes' organization. He has a billionaire who has more money than Vince McMahon is the financial backing of this thing. So now you're starting to see every wrestler, some of the WWE talent actually have put in their notice. They want to leave. Let me out of my contract.
I'm surprised more isn't happening.
So let me ask you this question. If you have somebody under contract, do you let them out knowing that they're going to go to your competition?
Yes, so please let me out of my contract.
I'm not letting you out of the contract. I knew you would say that nonsense. No. Let me tell you something. Revival, Sasha Banks, anybody out there that wants out of their contract, the answer is absolutely not. You're not being let out of the contract. I will speak on behalf of Vince McMahon. We're not letting you out.
What if they just sat it out?
You can't.
What if they did?
I mean, Neville did something like that.
What if 10 of them didn't go work for another company, but they said, we're just not participating anymore?
Well, here's what they did.
How long is WWE going to pay them to not perform?
Here's what they did. They have enough money to do it. They did it to Rey Mysterio Jr. He could not perform for a long time.
They just locked him out.
They just locked him out. And
are they going to lock out 10 of their – they'll have no one to wrestle. Who are they going to bring in?
No, they can find other people to make them wrestle.
They're not going to do that. Not with the big people.
I'm not going to play games. I'm not going to sit there and enrich another promotion. It ain't going to happen.
I don't know.
I'll speak on behalf of Vince. Vince,
will
you can sit this one out. I got this. No.
Oh, good. If you're speaking about, I can tell him what I really think about him.
No.
Now that you're sitting in for him.
Stop that. Stop that right now. They got Chris Jericho, who was bragging about the fact that he left the WWE for this nonsense.
What if this is just a setup?
For what?
It's a big setup for a big staged walkout to start another promotion.
What if Vince McMahon is sending moles over there to shut the promotion down?
No, I'm saying, what if they're going to spin off another promotion, or they're going to buy another promotion and bring it in, so that he already owns the other promotion, and it's going to be this big drama that they're going to the other promotion,
Look at that.
and now it's a rivalry between the two promotions.
That would
and
be smart.
And he makes money on both ends of it.
Hey,
You know, if that happens, I'm going to sue him, because that was my idea I just came up with right now.
stop that. You're a fool. So
By the way, what are these mints you got? It tastes like soap. What are
Okay.
these cheap-ass knockoff mints you're buying at
I
the
noticed
dollar
you
store?
You said that, but you keep eating them.
Well, I think there's some addictive chemical in them, but there's like a what is that scent? It's like a Lysol.
It's called mint.
No, it's not mint.
Yeah.
No, there's like a scrubbing bubbles
You're
taste.
allergic to what you just took 2 of them.
Yeah. I'm just trying to analyze.
You're ridiculous.
Because now it's on tape. When I die from this,
Yeah.
I'm going to sue you
okay.
posthumously.
Thank you very much.
There's like a soapiness to it.
Why are you eating
Did
it?
you ever get soap in your mouth when you're washing? You know, in the shower, you get like ivory soap. That's the taste.
Oh, I don't get soap in my mouth.
Because you don't even shower. You're dirty.
Get the hell out of here. Listen, you know what? Let's just go to our first guest. We got hold on.
Hello.
Super Jennie.
Hey.
What's going on?
Nothing much.
Listen, I have the Boston bad boy here, and I apologize ahead of time if he says anything inappropriate.
Oh, come on.
You know how you are.
You know, it's offensive that you would say that to me. You're starting off on the wrong foot. We have Jennie from the block on the phone.
Super Jennie.
She's going to give us a lowdown of her trip south of the border.
That's right.
And you're just starting off on the bad foot.
Well, I just want to make sure she's comfortable. I don't want you to say anything to offend her.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Whatever. So, Jennie, you traveled down south of the border. You went to Mexico.
Yes.
First of all, what the heck were you doing in Mexico? Why did you go down there?
This is fun. Just check it out, see how Mexico is.
Okay.
Hang out with my cousin.
How was the food down there?
Are you still in Mexico? It sounds
I
like
know.
your phone connection is in Mexico. Are you in your closet? Are you under a set of staircase? Where are you?
No, I'm in Texas.
In where?
I'm in Houston.
In Houston.
Okay, now you sound much more clear, Jennie.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. I don't know.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah,
I think
that's
we're
what
good
it is.
now.
That's ground control, the major tongue. So, Jennie, you went to a Lucha Libre event. In fact, it was CMLL, literally, now Boston Bad Boy.
Yeah.
They are the oldest pro wrestling organization in the world.
Real in the world?
Yeah, still standing.
Really?
CMLL, absolutely. And she went to check them out. Tell us about your experience, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time you ever been to a Lucha Libre event, right?
Yes, my first time. We stood in line, bought some tickets, went in, and it's like eye-opening. It's different. I didn't expect just a lot of show theatric. It could be real. A lot slapping, a lot of throwing around. I don't know.
What was the concession food like? Is there do you get some good like street food concessions? What's going on there? That's what I don't care about the wrestling. I really don't.
Oh,
Okay.
stop it.
Yeah, they had cup of noodles. The noodles. We got it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a few cents at home, but they're
Mhm.
selling it. I got to try it. They have to give you with some lemon. I mean, not lemon, lime,
Mhm.
and then you can put some hot sauce on it.
But it's just
They
your
sell-
everyday cup of noodle.
Yes,
What the hell?
but you don't get it anywhere else.
Right. You get the ups. So the cup of nothing I think of more when I'm sweltering south of the border in a wrestling arena than a nice hot cup of noodle to spill on myself
With hot sauce.
with hot sauce. Yeah,
That's right. Did they
There's
put
a-
any meat on it? Tell me they put
Is
some
there
meat on it.
is there any? What's going on here?
Nope, no meat. It was just water.
It was just water,
Oh.
and that's it. It was just water.
Look at that. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, how was the action? Because you said they were slapping and all this other stuff. How was the slap? What do you mean? These are moves?
Like, I don't know. They literally got their fists and they just slap each other on the chest, like take turns. Whoever's stronger, who could last longer. I thought that was hilarious.
Now, can you come here to Boston and demonstrate that on the Boston Bad
Oh,
Boy?
please.
Because I
Don't-
would love.
don't-
I
don't-
can't visualize what you're
don't
talking
threaten
about.
me
so
with a
I
good
need
time.
somebody to take their fist and slap the hell out of the Boston
Don't
Bad Boy.
threaten
with
me
it.
with a good time. I got to tell you that
he
right
might
now.
like that.
So are they? They're masked, right? I mean, this is traditional Mexican wrestling. They're masked. Did you buy a commemorative mask to bring home with you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, come on.
Because
What are you doing?
I'm like, what am I going to do?
She's sitting there eating a cup of noodle.
Which you can buy at any
Like,
Walmart.
here's my thought, right? Let's take wrestling out of it, right?
Sure.
Here's a
Yep.
woman sitting eating a cup of noodle while a couple of grown men slap each other in the chest.
Yes.
Like, that's what the vision I'm getting.
And she doesn't want to buy a mask.
She's really not conveying the action so well. I mean, I don't know if there's commentary.
Are you making this up? Tell the truth here.
Did somebody tell you this story that they had, and now you're just distilling it to us?
Who sent you?
No.
So were you with a big group of people? Well, how did you end up there?
No, just me and my cousin.
And so, are they a big wrestling fan?
No.
So you guys are just
we
bored?
We are neophytes.
I don't know what that is.
So I don't understand. Yeah, because you're
newbies.
you're an uncultured swine.
Clearly.
That's why you don't know what it is.
I thought did she swear at me? What
Yeah,
did
she did
call me?
swear at you. Don't worry about it.
Jeez.
So you guys are just hanging out I just want to know how you guys got into this. Like, you're just hanging out in Mexico. There's nothing else to do. I mean, no beaches, no cervezas. You're gonna go eat cup of noodle in a sweaty gymnasium.
Watch men slap each other.
No, we're just there. I was just there for the weekend, and we're in Mexico City, so no beaches around. It's nighttime. Instead of going to the bars, we'll just go see guys fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Mm-hmm. There was no Chippendales, is what she's trying to say. There was no. Yeah, that's the closest thing they could get for a girls' weekend away. What, is your cousin a female?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. But not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hey.
Duke loves going to the Chippendales to blow off a little steam.
What?
Yeah, just on certain weekends,
What are
like
you
once a
talking
month he
about?
goes.
Stop that
It's
right now.
it's okay, and I support everything you do.
Super Jenny, if you could make any recommendation for anyone who's thinking about going down to Mexico and checking out Lucha Libre wrestling, what's one suggestion that you would have for them to make their experience a good one?
Get front row seats.
Bring a spoon for all the noodles. Yeah,
and
exactly.
A bib. You need
and a bib. Yeah, bring a bib.
Do you have anything you want to plug, Jenny? You want to plug your social media or anything?
No.
Jenny, what do you do in real life when you're not talking to us on the radio or going to suspicious wrestling events in Mexico?
Allegedly. Yeah.
Well, I'm in school to get into nursing.
Oh, look at that.
See?
So you're smart. You're smart.
You were at the wrestling event because you were looking for work.
You
might want to fix some of these people in case they get hurt.
Are you in mental health at all? Because Duke could use a little bit of help.
I can be.
Okay, good. I'll keep you in the Rolodex.
Her name is Super Jenny. She likes cup of noodles and men who slap each other. Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome.
Keep running your mouth. I'm going to be slapping you around.
I'm going to send her here to do it. She's going to slap you.
That's all right.
She's going to ball up her fist and slap you.
First of all, you don't slap someone with a balled up fist, dum-dum.
That's
it's called
what she
a punch.
said. I don't know. Maybe she...
She's all hopped up on the ramen from
I know. What the hell was that? No, it was cup of noodle.
Cup of noodle.
It was the cheaper stuff.
Wow.
Cup of noodles.
It's like a penny a package, isn't it?
No meat.
No meat.
How do you go to Mexico and you don't eat meat?
Well, how do you not have like traditional Mexican? I figured they'd have some empanadas or some tamale, anything.
Something, right? Nothing. Cup of noodles. And this is a thing. I looked it up. It's a thing.
Is it?
It's a thing.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
That's weird.
And they put lime in it.
Yeah, lime and hot sauce.
I don't know. What are we
I don't
doing?
know. I do enjoy Mexican. I had a great burrito the other night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, when I was watching the Patriots advance to the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
I had
enough of this.
I had a nice burrito.
I'm not listening.
It was with chicken, and it was so good.
Whatever. You know what? Hold on. We got our buddy Reed on the line. Hold on.
Hello.
Is this the Black Burt Sugar Reed of Pugilism Co.?
It is not. No, I'm kidding.
For a minute, I thought he had the wrong number.
Like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, that would have been
How
brilliant.
How did we mess this one up?
I believe we did do that once. We called the wrong number one time for an interview.
Yeah.
And the guy who picked up was actually, and Duke asked him, are you a wrestling fan? And he's like, actually, I am. And we chatted with him for a few minutes.
We actually did do that. That's a good point.
What, trying to call me or somebody else?
No, somebody else. This was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
You held that. You hit that draw.
I'm the Mexican Burt Sugar. The black one. You'll have to. I don't know what his number is.
In that case, build that wall.
Yeah,
okay.
Please, please. I'm running under it. That's right.
How are your tunneling skills? How are your tunneling skills, Reed?
I know. You're going to need it.
The bad boy is back.
That's right. Hey, you know what? It was only an illusion that I ever left.
Nice. Nice.
Oh,
Reed,
yeah, Duke told me, he's like, hey, he's here. He's not here momentarily. He'll be back.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about
I
it.
get it.
I was under the weather, but I'm back, baby.
please. Reed,
That's what's up.
let's just jump right into it here. And because the Boston bad boy, he'll talk nonsense all night long.
Shut your mouth.
I need to know, because I'm going to tell you right now, Reed, and I'm going to shoot straight. You're our combat sports expert. I witnessed the absolute worst main event pay-per-view in my lifetime. Okay, and I'm not just talking about as far as boxing is concerned. I'm talking about in the history of any pay-per-view event that's pro wrestling, that's mixed martial arts. I have never seen a worse main event pay-per-view than Manny Pacquiao versus your boy there. I don't even want to say his name. I'm so pissed off at him, to be honest with you. I need you to explain to us what the hell that was, this fight that we've been hyping up all this time. What happened this past weekend?
Well, first of all, why you calling him my boy?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. If you could reach to the phone and slap him, I'd like that.
I won't say it was the worst I've ever seen. It obviously left a lot to be desired. Broner, he's a very good salesman. He sold the living hell out of this fight. Oh, this is for the hood. I'm putting this on goddamn. And, I mean, he didn't show up. He didn't show up. And the worst part about the fact he didn't show up is then you climb your happy ass on the ropes like you won. Like, so you talk tough, you didn't back it up, and now you're insulting the intelligence of everyone who saw you clearly lose by jumping on the ropes and getting into a verbal altercation with Jim Gray suggesting you won. It was a very weird experience for all of us, I think, Duke.
I mean, let's break down what happened here, because we watched a match that we thought was going to be competitive, and what we got was an Adrien Broner who barely threw a punch at Manny Pacquiao. I mean, he legitimately stood there. At first, I thought he was doing a rope-a-dope a la Muhammad Ali, where he was allowing Pacquiao to come in, and then he would catch him with an uppercut or something like that, or switch position and get Pacquiao on the ropes and then pound on him. He never actually delivered. So please, explain to us what the hell we were even watching.
Broner has always had a very low punch output. And you juxtapose that with Manny Pacquiao, who's one of the busier fighters in boxing history. Even at the age of 40, he's busier than most fighters 22, 23 years old. But what Broner would typically do, he would walk a guy down behind a high, I call it a winky right guard. Not sure if you guys are familiar with winky right, but
oh yeah,
he'd keep his guard extra high, walk you down. He'd pick your incoming shots off on his arms, and then he would fire. But even then, his work rate was low. Against Pacquiao, he chose to use a more mobile attack, and again, he still didn't throw punches. I think Pacquiao threw like 47-point-something punches per round, and Adrien Broner threw like 24 punches per round. So literally, in every round, Pacquiao nearly doubled his punch output, just throwing punches. And you can't win a boxing match when the other guy is throwing twice as many shots. You just can't.
Well, let's just cut through this. Let's brass tacks this here. Did Broner throw the fight on purpose? Is there a payoff going on here?
No, he didn't. He just didn't have the ability to beat. As soon as the fight was announced, I'm like, okay, Manny will win a decision for sure. But if Broner opens up, then he'll get knocked out. Like, it was one of the easier fights for me to predict. Broner didn't throw it at all. He's just not good enough to beat a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao.
Come on now, Reed. Listen, you're the black Burt Sugar. You know
Mexican.
You are the Mexican Burt Sugar as well. You know what you're talking about when it comes to boxing. So you know
and the Asian.
That's right. You're international,
and the
baby.
European.
International.
I'm all facets of Burt Sugar.
That's right.
But anyway, go ahead.
I feel like somebody just got his ancestry DNA results back.
Yeah, right.
He's just trying to cover all
ancestry
bases.
over here. You know. But I got to challenge you here, Reed, because I'm telling you, man, I cannot take what you're saying. When I watched that entire fight myself, this fight was a fix. He threw the fight, and I think he threw the fight because they couldn't afford Pacquiao to lose potentially when the big buildup is going to be Floyd versus Pacquiao one more time. Come on, Reed. Tell us something here, man.
Here's what I'll say, Brother Duke. Go to YouTube and watch Adrien Broner versus Mikey Garcia. It's virtually the same fight. Adrien Broner, when he reaches a certain level of opponent, he's appreciating the money he's making, but he's not trying to get hurt. I fall short of calling professional fighters a bitch or cowards or scared because, I mean, if he wanted to fight me, I'd be the bitchy, cowardly, scared dude. Just being honest. But there's a reluctance to him. There's a reluctance to him that's always been there. He didn't throw the fight. He just was incapable of beating Manny Pacquiao. I mean, we can agree to disagree, brother. I'm gonna love you anyway, but that's just how I saw it.
Well, I'm telling you, man, I was very embarrassed to have to have sat there and witness that nonsense. It really.
I hope you didn't pay for the pay-per-view.
Well,
he wouldn't pay for an envelope.
But I didn't pay
He wouldn't pay for an envelope to mail his mother a birthday card. This guy's not paying for a pay-per-view.
I send the email. I send the e-card. All right, don't give me that.
An e-card?
This is his mother. She's a sweet woman.
I'm with the.
She knows how to use a gun, and he's sending her an e-card. This is not going to work out well for him.
So Reed,
tell me he's exaggerating, dude.
No.
I wish I could. But, Reed, tell us the truth now.
Wow.
Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Is it going to happen?
I'm perturbed about that because Floyd is like the chick who wants attention when So when Canelo signed his new deal with DAZN, the streaming service DAZN, like 11 fights, $365 million or whatever it was, Floyd comes out with a press release or whatever the next day. Oh, well, just so everyone knows, I made like $300 million in one night. It didn't take me 5 years and 11 fights to do it. Like, why are you? So you're mad at? He's like a chick. He's like the hot chick who's mad because another pretty girl moved on the block. So he wants to remind everyone he's still pretty. Right now, with Manny, he doesn't want that smoke, as they say, but I think he'll eventually want it because I think his spending habits is why he fought McGregor and then he fought Tenshin Nasukawa, and that staged that boxing match was more staged than his wrestling match with Big Show was. Like that was a complete farce. His spending habits will force him to be back in the ring at some point. I just hope the powers that be force him to fight and face a legitimate boxer. But here's the beauty of it. So Manny left Bob Arum and Top Rank Promotions because in the weight class he fights in, welterweight, 147 pounds, Al Heyman and Premier Boxing Champions, they have all the good welterweights. Earl Spence, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia. So, yes, Pacquiao joined them for the express purpose of getting a rematch with Floyd. But if Floyd punks out, which is likely, then Manny still has other viable options to face.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take there. And I hope that Floyd doesn't take the fight, to be honest with you, because I think his hands are brittle at this point. I don't think he can do it. I understand that he knocked out Tenshin.
He wouldn't beat Pacquiao, but because I know he wouldn't beat Pacquiao is why I want to see the fight. I want to see him lose.
Gotcha.
I'm tired of his act. He's helped himself tremendously in boxing, but I don't know that he's better. I'm a guy like, make the sport you participate in better than what it was when you first got into it. And I don't agree that Floyd has made the game of boxing better than what it was. He's made his pockets better. He's bettered his brand, his name, but he hasn't made boxing better, in my opinion.
You know, I got to ask you, speaking of hands, when the sixth ring that Tom Brady gets that has to go on the other hand, do you think he starts with the thumb, like just to keep it in line?
Unbelievable.
Will he, I mean, I know there hasn't been any Dallas Cowboys that have had that problem, but I'm just wondering what your take on it is, Duke, what your take on it is. As we're talking about just shifting gears a little bit here.
Disgusting. You know that? You're really
See,
disgusting.
Mr. Bad Boy, I was going to let you make it with the Tom Brady reference. But now, you besmirch the name of my beloved America's team, our Dallas Cowboys.
That's right. That's
You're
right.
American, right?
That's right.
I think
our Dallas Cowboys.
I think so long as Jerry Jones owns that organization, we've got to drop the America's team moniker. I think we got to do that.
We can't drop it. We can.
I think we got to do it.
We can do the F Jerry thing, but we can't drop America's team. Can't do that.
Reed, we might need to send Boston Bad Boy a two-piece.
All the tuck rule, like come on, even in the KC game, there were questionable calls. The Patriots get the benefit of every damn call, like every call. Like,
I keep.
And they're not going to beat the Rams, by the way. They're not going to beat the Rams.
So what you're saying is, during the course of the regular season, there was about 800,000 calls that didn't go the Cowboys' way. Otherwise, they would have been in the Super Bowl too.
No, what I'm saying is the Patriots play in a weak division where they're guaranteed like 6 or 7 wins every year because Miami is trash.
Tell them.
And Buffalo's,
yeah, tell them.
I love that. Who's the other hapless team in their division? Like,
I love that.
They got to beat like 3 good teams a year to make the plaplayoffs.
I don't even care about football.
Belichick's a great coach.
Cheating
great
bastard.
coach,
Cheating
and then
bastard.
from there, his coaching takes over.
I don't even like football, but I love the way to bash the Patriots to leverage every other team. Because, they all suck too.
Yeah.
And you suck, and they suck. And you know what? You just got to, what you do is just take the jersey, you wash it real nice, you fold it up, and you put it on that little shelf because there's always next year.
Unbelievable.
I don't hate him as much as Duke does.
Duke is he's a pissant, and he just likes to hate everything.
Reed, you see the kind of reaction I get when I post about them, so you already know.
I do.
You already know what this is all about.
I feel your pain.
You already know. Listen, let's get this back on track here. Jesus. What's happening this weekend? I know we got a big fight coming up this weekend, right?
We have 2 fights. We have a youngster, WBO super welterweight champion Jaime Munguia. He's fighting on the streaming app called DAZN, DAZN, DAZN. It doesn't quite, the spelling doesn't add up, but they pronounce it DAZN. I'm not sure if you heard of it. There'll also be a fighter from Dallas named Virgil Ortiz, good young 20-year-old prospect. And the fight I think you're talking about will be on Fox. That's Keith Thurman making a comeback after 22 months of inactivity against the Riverside Rocky, Josecito Lopez.
That's right. Who do we got on that fight there? My pick is Lopez, be honest.
Lopez, this is his best chance to beat Thurman. I'm favoring Thurman, but if he could ever beat Thurman, it would be Thurman coming back from a 22-month layoff.
Exactly. I think you can't be away from the ring that long.
I'd call it 60-40 in Thurman's favor. Not quite 50-50, but I'd say 60-40 in Thurman's favor.
I think that's just too much ring rust there. I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome that. Let's switch gears for a second here. I know you were watching the boxing matchups. Did you get a chance to check out UFC at all?
I did. I believe it was on ESPN Plus, which I also subscribe to, along with DAZN. You're speaking of the Cejudo TJ Dillashaw fight?
All right. I'm just going to ask you a question straight up. And the Boston Bad Boy, he has his own opinion on this. Was that was that referee stoppage too soon, or did the referee do the right thing? I say the referee did the right thing.
It was too soon.
Oh, come on.
Too soon.
See?
Too soon.
See?
The genius. Just look at the genius across from you and listen to the genius on the phone.
No, Reed, he wasn't intelligently defending himself. The Boston Bad Boy just wants to see somebody die out there. I think that's what it is.
You know what?
But he wasn't defending himself.
This was a champion versus champion fight. When a guy's an established champion, you have to give him a longer leash than just regular guys. You just have to. It was. I'm not saying Dillashaw would have reversed the tide and won. I'm not saying he was robbed of victory, but it was stopped too soon. It was stopped too soon, in my opinion.
When the gladiators step into the ring, Duke, this is how it works. Okay, maybe someone gets slaughtered out there, but that's part of the game.
Stop it.
It was too soon.
No.
This world has gone to shit because people just can't. You got to take the beating.
No. The ref did the right thing. He saved that boy's life.
Get the hell out of here.
Dillashaw's eyes were rolling the back of his head.
Hey,
he took about 5 or 6 shots without even trying to defend himself.
You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Come on. I'm disappointed in you,
Bad
Ray.
Boy's point, a fighter would rather go out on his shield and be prone,
Thank you,
bleeding, unconscious on the canvas.
Yep.
Than still be scrambling to stay in the fight and have it stop.
That's right.
You know, I've never competed in boxing or MMA, but I know the mind state of those guys who do compete. They want to go out on their shields.
You know what? You've seen Rocky, you dodo. It's about going the distance.
That's a fake movie. What are you talking about?
No, but the core premise.
Stop that.
The core premise is the same thing.
No,
you know what? Because you've never gone the distance with anything.
Okay.
You just
and
skated
you're
by.
the man of endurance,
you skated by doing the bare minimum your entire life, sending e-cards to your mother.
Wow.
Thank you.
Give me a break. Listen,
I'm going to give you the Clubber Lang if you're not careful.
Listen, man, you stop it right now. While we're talking about now, that was UFC. What was that? 143 Brooklyn, I think it was.
No, they're like in the 200s. Yeah.
Something or other. While we're on it,
well,
that piece of trash, and unfortunately, I hate to say it, former Dallas Cowboy Greg Hardy, he fought on that card. Now, this domestic abuser, this piece of trash, he got disqualified for an illegal knee. His opponent was on his knees, and Hardy landed a knee, which basically knocked the man out. So they had to disqualify Hardy. What are your thoughts on first of all, the Greg Hardy experiment in MMA and that fight in particular?
So he played with the Cowboys maybe 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I heard he was getting into MMA. I did not expect him to ever make it to the UFC. So I've been pleasantly surprised by his ability. He's still limited. He's got to learn some ground fighting. And the disqualification arose because his opponent, you can't knee a guy if he has a hand on the canvas.
Mm-hmm.
And a smart mixed martial artist, when he knows he's in a position to be kneed, he's going to put his hand down. Or if he's getting up from the canvas, he's going to keep his hand down, knowing the guy can't knee him. Well, the guy had his hand down, and I'm tallying this up to Hardy's lack of experience. So he saw a target and he could knee, and he kneed him. The heavyweight division is so wide open. He wouldn't beat Cormier. But how long will Cormier be champion? Will Bones Jones move up to heavyweight? Will Brock Lesnar and Cormier fight? So the heavyweight division has always been pretty topsy-turvy. So Hardy may fight for the heavyweight title. He may even win it. But he's not going to become like a great heavyweight UFC fighter. He'll make a few dollars. He'll get some highlight reel knockouts and whatnot. But he's not going to reinvent the MMA wheel at all.
Well, he might get the award for the biggest piece of trash walking the face of the earth other than Donald Trump. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there?
Sure. I have a friend who's a cop who got the details of what he did to that female. Now, on the flip side, she settled out of court with him. So it's like, I don't know, Mama, you put a monetary value on what he did to you? Like, really? Punish his ass. But, I wasn't there, so I guess she was the judge and the jury in that case. Despicable
human being as far as I'm concerned. Yes. Real quick, Reed, we're getting reports that Ronda Rousey is going to finish up with the WWE after WrestleMania. She's been not even dropping hints. She's been flat out saying she wants to start a family. What are your thoughts on the Ronda Rousey experience? Was it worth the money that they threw at her?
No.
Over this past couple years, or do you think that it came up short?
So she's talking about leaving when? In 2020 or something?
No. Literally right after WrestleMania. I think she'll be done April, May, somewhere in there.
Then, that wasn't worth it. They were looking for a long-term commitment from her. And she's been there, a year and a half, 2 years back?
About that.
Yeah, I don't think they got the bang for their buck.
But this is them getting burned again.
She brought the 4 horsewomen with her, and they wanted her to be there. Like, you become like a female Stone Cold or something. And
exactly.
10 years from now, you got T-shirts and all of this. I wouldn't say the WWE would regret the decision, but the financial windfall that occurred, it wouldn't be worth it if she's truly going to retire after WrestleMania.
This is their stupid exhibitionary style that they bring these people in from other genres and all this, and they think this is the next big thing. They're gonna be here and be consistent, and they're not. They're not. Brock Lesnar's not consistent. He's in and out. They banked $1 million bucks on her.
I hope she goes out with a loss at WrestleMania.
Oh, she's gonna have to.
If that's the case, if you're telling me you're leaving my company, guess what? The script says you lose.
Yep,
I
you
don't
gotta
care
do the
who. I
honors.
don't care. You could be fighting the weakest girl on the roster. You're losing.
So wait, do you think she had a contract for longer and then she's getting out of it, or do you think that's when it ends?
No. I think that's when it ends. I think
So why were they stupid enough to sign her to like a 1.5 year contract?
because I think that was always the point. She's been upfront about the fact that she wants to start a family. So I think the point was, you can be here for about 2 years, do your thing, and then maybe
so they
you come back.
overpaid. It was they overpaid for that.
But here's what I say to you, fellas, and I say to everybody listening. The WWE just signed 2 $1 billion contracts for Raw and SmackDown, 2 separate.
Yeah.
Combined, it's over $2 billion that they got. They leverage Rousey to get those contracts.
Yeah, but now they don't have Rousey, so these people who are they spent the money to have expecting these big
they
time
already
shows.
got the money.
I know, but if the product doesn't
signed a contract in
I
bad
guess.
faith.
exactly right, it's another scam perpetrated by Vince McMahon and
Get out of
company.
here. I'm sick of this. Reed, if everybody wants to read what you have to say, listen to your podcast, plug your stuff for us, brother.
I'm Reed BBS, Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. I write and podcast for Pugilism Company. That's PUGILISMCO.com.
That's right.
Check me out.
That's right. And I can attest, I mean, Reed's show is funny as hell. Some of his takes, you think they're wild here. You should hear what this guy has to say when he's breaking down a fight that's about to happen. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's much better than working with the Duke, to be honest with
All
you.
right,
It's a
all
much
right,
better
that's
product. So
enough.
anytime you want me to, anytime you want me to
Duke,
shift over to that show,
No.
I'm
we
ready
ain't
to
doing
go.
that. We ain't doing
My
that.
contract was only 1.5 years, and I'm ready
Stop
to
it.
start a normal life like Ronda Rousey. So I'll go over and work with you, Reed.
You see what you started, Reed?
My bad.
Listen, as always, thank you for joining us, Reed. We'll have you back on after the next big fight, brother.
Anytime, fellas. It's always a ride. Anytime, brothers. I love y'all.
You know, you really got to stop.
Agreeing with Reed and being
No.
right? Yeah, okay.
You got to stop trying to solicit some kind of agreement with Reed, okay?
There's no soliciting.
No,
we both literally answered you at the same time on
Stop
both
that.
of those topics
Just
that we
stop
agree
it.
on.
That's what's going down
Stop
here.
being wrong on everything in your life. And stop sending your mother e-cards. Put that woman's card in an envelope
Listen,
for
the
crying
e-cards,
out
man,
loud.
I'm telling you, it's the best thing to do. Trust me.
What's wrong with you?
I've been doing it for years. That's right.
She got to slap you in the mouth.
All right. I hope she's not listening. All right, Boston Bad Boy.
What?
Got a big to do online,
Yep.
and you know I got to bring it up.
Is this on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, for crying.
Well, no, because you got. Listen, let me just say this. There's a lot of young guys out there in the wrestling business who do not respect their elders. They don't respect the guys that came and paved the way, made it possible for them to do what they do today.
Now, are you saying they don't respect them because that the elders treat them kindly and then they're not respecting them, or that they should just respect them because they're elders?
I think you should, to a degree, you should respect them because
No.
they're elders. And
Wrong.
well, no, because
No,
of
you're
what
wrong.
they did.
No, you're wrong.
If you create a situation where it's easier for me to succeed in something, I should respect you.
I don't
for
know
that.
you anything.
What?
You don't know anybody.
No, you
anything.
do.
No,
you do.
don't. No, you don't.
You do.
Nope.
Because they made it possible for you.
Yeah, but they were
to
doing
exist.
it for their reasons.
Okay, so what? They respect their elders.
How do you know that?
That's how the wrestling business works.
You know, if everyone respected their elders, we never would have had all the movements that have moved society incrementally forward.
All right, now, you're taking.
It's
it
like,
out of
oh, you know
context.
what? My daddy. I love the George
Yeah,
Carlin bit.
listen,
My daddy.
yeah.
Anyone who calls their, did you ever see these guys? My daddy. My daddy said black folk need to drink from a separate water fountain, and I'm just gonna respect my elders.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
You know
it's
it. Don't pull that
essentially in a
crap.
way you are.
Don't pull that crap.
Yeah, it's about doing new things. But continue, whatever this idiotic
Well, listen,
Twitter thing is.
I'm getting at something here. All right, so Rip Rogers, all right, he's one of the greatest trainers of all time. Randy Orton, John Cena, I think Batista, a bunch of people he's trained. He's responsible for. He put out a tweet.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of curse words and stuff. That's how Rip talks. He's very colorful.
But I bet his mama wouldn't like that.
Stop
Is he
that.
not respecting his elders?
Stop that. I'm
I'm
sure his
just
mother
asking.
cursed like a sailor as well.
sure.
Anyway, Rip Rogers, he goes, maybe I should do a male genitalia, so I'm not going to swear, spot, a hand grenade spot, wrestle a 9-year-old girl, wrestle a blow-up doll, do a slow motion spot, a dive, and tell promoters they should book me, and memorize a whole match for the next month.
Now, we've got this up on the big screen here in the studio. He spells should, S-H-U-D, so I don't give a F what he has to say.
Stop that right
to be
there.
honest with you.
It's Twitter, so you only have so many characters.
No,
you only have
don't.
so many characters.
No, they extended the character
That's still,
limit.
you only have so many.
Get out of here.
But the point is, though, he's saying that, can we get back to wrestling? Instead of all this other wrestling,
Who's he to say what wrestling
doing
is?
all this garbage. Can we get back to wrestling?
There was a guy that carried around a doll's head.
So what?
And got over.
Al Snow. We had him on the
I
show.
know.
So what?
So what is this guy talking about? Since who died and made him the keeper of what
But
is
when
wrestling?
the bell rang, Al Snow wrestled. He didn't use his.
So who's he
his-
calling out in the spot?
Well, Joey Ryan responds.
Well,
right?
He's naming. I mean, this guy's naming specifics here. So of course, this guy.
Joey
responds.
Ryan has the bionic male genitalia, which he uses to throw his opponents around or something stupid. Why don't you read off what Joey Ryan said in response?
He says, "Come on, man! You spent your whole career not being over. You know you wouldn't know how to get any of that. You know you wouldn't know how to get any of that over either." Jesus.
Can you believe he said that? This piece of trash. You
Get
believe
outta
he
here.
said that?
The guy called him out.
No.
It says Dick Spot.
Respect your elders in the business.
No.
That's what it comes down to.
This Rip Rogers is so off the beaten path. No one knows who the hell he is. And he decides he's going to get some heat by calling this guy out for no particular reason other than he thinks he's the king of what wrestling is and what isn't.
He gives wisdom.
Get the hell out of
And
here.
instead of sitting there under the learning tree and understanding what the hell he's talking about, this fool takes offense and starts tweeting back. So
Hey,
listen,
the guy should have kept his mouth shut. You got nothing nice to say, don't
Joey
say anything.
Ryan should have kept his mouth
No.
shut.
Rip Rogers.
Sensitive. So
Who the F is Rip Rogers?
stop it. He's one of the greatest
Get outta
trainers of all time. So Jim Cornette, the legendary Jim Cornette, he comes out.
Another clown.
And he says, F you, you midget piece of excrement. Rip Rogers has done more for wrestling as a wrestler, trainer, and a man than you ever could do, unless you burst into flames and disappear. He could also kick the you-know-what out of your male genitalia backside at twice your age, and I probably have a decent shot at it.
Then Jim Cornette should go there and try and kick this guy's ass.
Well, I don't think Jim Cornette can kick his ass.
Of course he can't. All these old timers. This is everything. This is everything. This is baby boomers personified. It's like respect your elders. We bankrupted the country. We got handed everything, and now we don't want you to have anything of your own. And we're going to call you lazy and entitled, and no one else is going to be able to do anything that's good enough for us because we're the keeper of all that is good. You know what? It's BS.
Stop that.
It's total BS.
Stop that. So wrestling a blow-up doll, that Kenny Omega who I can't stand.
What's more ridiculous, wrestling a blow-up doll or two grown men yelling at another grown man on Twitter, threatening each other? Get the hell out of here.
What do you mean?
This guy said you couldn't get over. The other two are just this guy's threatening him. This guy's calling him out. This Joey Ryan's just sitting there minding his own business.
Joey Ryan needs to shut up. Period.
No.
When Rip Rogers talks,
you got two old crazy men who can't hack it anymore, obviously. So they go on Twitter, spell things in poorly.
All right,
and that's the only thing they've got. And they still can't get over.
Stop that. Listen,
Cornette.
Rip Rogers, Jim Cornette. Hey, I'm with you.
Hey, you know what? Out of all these three guys, there's only one that could probably still get an erection. So I would call that a win for Joey Ryan anyway.
Okay, that's enough of this. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
Mr. Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.